The reason they felt they needed to do that, Jesse, is because if they told their audience the truth, that when gas is the most expensive it's been, flights are super expensive, that 5,000 kids decided to spend a weekend in summer traveling across the country to go hear from conservative speakers, maybe the audience to The View would think twice about all of their ideas. That's why they felt so compelled to try to smear our wonderful summit this last weekend.
Yeah, they have nothing else to talk about. Maybe you should get the lawyer that worked on that Covington Catholic school case. What was that, a $200 million settlement? I think, Charlie, you could use the money, and your students definitely could too.
When Charlie Kirk and Megyn Kelly teamed up during their talk, things got intense fast. Let's just say Sunny Hostin didn't stand a chance. They didn't hold back, delivering strong, pointed arguments that left no room for a comeback. It felt more like a high-stakes debate than a casual discussion. And by the end, it was clear who came out on top.
Her disgusting, gross elitism and her complete out-of-touch nature with respect to the rest of the world. Sunny Hostin goes on The View and decides now would be a great time to dump all over the so-called uneducated.
What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding. You have Latino men, actually, voting more for him. And you have, and black men was not the story. We're not the story here because they voted almost 80% for the vice president.
Megyn Kelly came in strong, calm but firm, cutting straight through the noise. Charlie Kirk followed with sharp facts and a confident delivery that added fuel to the fire. As for Sunny Hostin, she was left standing there, clearly overwhelmed and unsure how to respond. This wasn't just a disagreement. It was a clear win for Charlie and Megyn. Sunny often carries herself like she's defending truth and justice, but in this exchange, it all felt more like an act. Her arguments just didn't hold up. Charlie and Megyn didn't need a flashy setup, just solid points and a clear message. They came prepared with facts and logic, dismantling Sunny's stance in minutes. What was supposed to be a debate ended up looking more like a one-sided takedown.
Just because you didn't go to college doesn't mean you're stupid, and it doesn't mean that you don't have wisdom. You can go to college and get a bunch of irrelevant facts about how men can allegedly give birth or whatever they teach. But I said this to our team. I said working people, the muscular class, including working women, they are so in favor of Trump, and they don't want to be called stupid or uneducated.
And the most surprising part? Megyn and Charlie didn't even need to be in the same room to make an impact. That's how effective their takedown was. Let's take a closer look at how they teamed up to deliver a powerful critique that Sunny clearly didn't see coming. This wasn't a fair exchange of ideas. It was a one-way takedown from two influential voices she probably didn't expect to unite. While Sunny focused on repeating familiar talking points, Megyn and Charlie were already making their case with sharp analysis and strong arguments. Sunny often presents herself as the voice of moral clarity on daytime TV, walking onto that set with the confidence of a judge in a courtroom. Her style says, "I care more, so I must be right." But the truth is, being loud doesn't make your point stronger. Her usual approach, bold statements and emotional appeals, works well when she's unchallenged. But this time, the pushback came fast, and it caught her off guard.
Charlie Kirk's the founder and CEO of Turning Point USA and the author of the new book, The College Scam. So, Charlie, do you accept The View's apology?
I mean, regardless of whether or not I accept it, the question is, do our students accept it? That's really what's at heart here. They went after our 5,000 students at our event there of high school and college kids. And look, I get attacked all the time. People say false things. I'm a public figure. But when you go after 16 and 17-year-olds that travel from across the country that then have to live for the rest of their life with a shadow over them because someone at ABC says that they might be linked to neo-Nazis.
Then suddenly, silence. Consistency isn't exactly Sunny's strong suit. She's known for switching her outrage on and off depending on who's involved. If someone on her side makes a mistake, it's quiet. But if the other side slips, she's front and center with a strong opinion and a dramatic speech. At that point, it's no longer journalism. It's performance. It's less about balanced commentary and more about pushing a narrative. Sunny often takes on the role of both moral judge and energetic host, depending on the moment. One day she's demanding accountability. The next, she's ignoring facts that don't fit her message. And now people online are starting to notice. This isn't just about political views anymore. It's become part of her brand. Then comes Charlie Kirk, never one to sugarcoat. He didn't show up to yell or get into a heated exchange on TV. Instead, he stayed calm, stuck to the facts, and delivered his message with clarity. It wasn't dramatic, but it hit hard, cutting right through the image Sunny tries to present.
Look, what did it take for us to get to the point of an apology? We had to threaten a lawsuit, Jesse. And by the way, we're still entertaining it. We're talking to some of the best lawyers out there that are experts in this. And as you know, these things can be very complicated. There's a lot of facts and circumstances around it. But we're not going to let this go, because you should not be able to smear 5,000 high school and college kids and then just be able to walk away with.
While Sunny was busy labeling conservatives with the usual claims, extreme, dangerous, and so, Charlie Kirk came in with facts that couldn't be ignored. He brought up voting records, past statements, and real examples that told a different story. And he wasn't just challenging her opinions, he was exposing the pattern behind them. What made Charlie's approach so effective was that he didn't get loud or emotional. He kept it logical and clear. He showed how Sunny's outrage only seems to show up when the person in question isn't on her side. But when someone from her own circle slips up, it's either silence or excuses. Suddenly, it's all about context and nuance. This wasn't about politics, it was about consistency. Charlie made it clear that Sunny's moral high ground often rests on selective outrage, not real justice. Her strong reactions seemed tied more to her image than the facts. And just when you thought it couldn't get more direct, Megyn Kelly stepped in. Megyn didn't raise her voice or get dramatic. She calmly walked through her points, laying out timelines and contradictions, one after the other. It was sharp, focused, and backed with proof. In that moment, Sunny's bold, truth-teller image began to fall apart, replaced by a version that looked more like scripted spin than honest debate.
Amazing. She's specifically there referring to the women, but of course it's the non-college educated men as well who voted for Donald Trump. And the nerve of this woman to whom the country has given so much to try to dump on people who didn't go to college. Look at you. Look at your achievements. How do you like the so-called uneducated now?
Let's break this down, because things just got serious. Charlie Kirk doesn't tiptoe into conversations. He jumps right in, armed with hard evidence that completely challenges Sunny Hostin's usual narrative. And these aren't small issues. He's exposing major contradictions in the way she presents herself as a voice against extremism. Here's the twist. Sunny has built her brand around calling out conservatives for being radical or dangerous, almost like she sees herself as the last word on what's morally right. But when people from her own political side cross the line, she goes quiet. No. Outrage. No strong words. Just silence, like it never happened. It's a clear case of double standards. She's quick to call out others, but turns a blind eye when it's someone on her team. That's exactly what Charlie called out. Calmly, with facts. He didn't need to get loud. He showed voting records, public statements, and timelines that highlighted a clear pattern. The result? A direct spotlight on how Sunny's outrage seems to only show up when it's convenient. When the mistake comes from her side, she disappears. No comments. No questions, just silence. Meanwhile, Charlie is bringing the facts, not the drama. While others trade headlines, he's presenting the full picture, and once you see it that way, you can't ignore it. This isn't just about inconsistency, it looks like a carefully managed image. Charlie didn't just challenge Sunny's arguments, he exposed the foundation they're built on.
Sunny Hostin I think she went to Binghamton undergrad, and she went to Notre Dame Law School, which is a great law school. Her son right now is at Harvard. That son she wants us to think is sitting there oppressed, who she's got to fight on behalf of because America is so awful to him. They're educating him right now at Harvard University. And Jason, would you take a look at this? Because I'm going to guess, I haven't been to your house down in Tennessee, but I'm going to guess it doesn't look like this. This is Sunny Hostin's home in this shitty country that she can't stand, that doesn't treat black people like Sunny well. She let People magazine feature her home. Look at this dump. This country sucks. She went to Notre Dame Law School. She makes millions on The View. Her son's at Harvard. I'm sure her daughter's at private school on her way to some Ivy League. This is where Sunny lives. And F off, America. I can't stand how you've kept us all in chains. That's her messaging.
Sunny's outrage isn't about principle. It's about presentation. What looks like passion is really part of the show. It's not raw emotion. It's carefully timed, camera ready, and made for the spotlight. This isn't about truth. It's about applause. Let's be honest. Her outrage doesn't rise when something genuinely goes wrong. It rises when it's good for ratings. It's less about justice, more about clicks, clips, and staying in the headlines. One day she's emotional over an issue, and the next she's ignoring facts that don't fit the story she's telling. It's not a belief system, it's a brand, a polished one, built to sell a message that changes depending on what sells best. That day, Charlie Kirk didn't come to throw insults. He came prepared with facts and a plan. Think of him as a media detective, peeling back all the polished stories to reveal a script that's been repeated one too many times. No shouting, no drama, just solid evidence and truths that speak for themselves. Here's the real kicker. Sunny's outrage? It's not genuine. It's more like a rental that's about to expire. Because when the real facts show up, those rehearsed speeches lose their power. You can't keep faking anger when people start seeing the full picture. And just when you think it's over, here comes Megyn Kelly. No noise, no hype, just sharp focus. She steps in like she's walking into a serious legal meeting, armed with a thick binder full of evidence. But she's not there to fight. She's there to carefully cut through the lies. Megyn doesn't get caught up in drama. She calmly points out every contradiction Sunny's tried to dodge. While others are busy tweeting comebacks, Megyn is connecting the dots with cold, clear logic. This wasn't just a simple rebuttal. It was a full review of Sunny Hostin's act, done with the confidence of someone who knows exactly what she's doing.